Hey, what's up, it's Joe? Welcome to my 5 Minute Friday for June 30th. So I just got back from a bit of a whirlwind week and a half of travel. Went to Vancouver, BC around mid last week. Did some events with Dama and Data for Good and the Low-Key Happy Hour. Those were awesome. Shout out to Gordon Hamilton, especially for organizing the events and getting me out there. That was really cool. And then on Monday, went to, where was it? Las Vegas for a couple of parties. And that was awesome too. Shout out to SQL DBM and everyone who put on the low-key happy hour over at Beer Park. I think the Beer Park event in particular was awesome. It was just kind of the who's who of the data world had shown up, at least half of the who's who of the data world, which I'll talk about in a second. So it was really cool to catch up with everybody. And it was quite a late night. Woke up early and went to the airport and flew to Vegas, or flew to San Francisco. Sorry, it shows how discombobulated I am at this point. Yeah, I got to San Francisco for the Mage Happy Hour, and that was awesome. Shout out to Mage too for putting on an awesome event. So that was kind of the other half, right? So it's like the who's who of the when Data World shows up there. Didn't attend the Snowflake event, so. And then did an awesome event with Stream the next day at the Mission Rock. And so, yeah, great events overall. Shout out again, everyone. Thanks for bringing me out. But, I kind of want to talk about this. I think that, we get the data community that we deserve. And right now it feels like the conferences, we're bifurcating and throwing a wedge into the data community. Read into that what you will, but when you have two vendors that have, side-by-side events in different cities that, forces you to pick sides. And so, I know next year, the word is that Databricks and Snowflake are going to be having their events in San Francisco at the same time again. So we'll see what that's like. I think that these sort of antics are, I guess it is are what they are, right? These companies spend a lot of money on their events, and for vendors and speakers, you have to play by the rules and all this fun stuff. I'm not going to name names, but one of the conferences I decided I wasn't going to speak when I was asked to give a presentation there. I just felt like it felt like the rewards were all lopsided in favor of the the conference and not the speaker. And so I respectfully declined. I just didn't have time for it. But I feel like these, these big companies, they obviously have a large following and whatnot, but I think that there's room for, for example, for data engineering, right? There's not a proper data engineering conference in the United States. So I think that there is a possibility that you might see a data engineering, focused conference, and hopefully what this does is it brings a community together and not the vendors, right? So as much as I like working with vendors, and I do, work with vendors or work with the ones that I like, I feel like what's really missing from the world right now is getting practitioners together where they can network and talk about things in a way that's constrained from the scripts and the ways that vendors want you to talk about what they're doing. So, right, at one of the conferences I was going to speak at, they'd ask that I, give a talk specifically about certain products, right? And I typically don't do that kind of stuff. And so I think given that, plus all the extra work they're putting on speakers, I just decided this isn't a fit for, what I'm about. And so I decided not to. But I think that a conference that's really geared towards, topics that practitioners are interested in, by practitioners for practitioners is an interesting thing. And hopefully, there's interest in doing this. I'd be willing to help out with that. So, but again, we get the community that we deserve. And I feel like we can do better as a data engineering community in particular. If anything, the low-key happy hours and low-key conferences are showing that people really value the networking community aspects of things, and maybe you don't need vendors in the mix of this, right? Maybe there's other ways that we can make these events happen. So anyway, I'm open to suggestions on this. Just some observations from the two conferences I was just at. So anyway, rant over. I'm going to go take a nap because I'm utterly exhausted right now. So we'll see you next time. Take care. Hope you have a good weekend.